Good afternoon. I call this meeting of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation to order. I am Michelle Cummings-Steele. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll read now the appeal of decisions. Pursuant to the provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, please take notice that decisions of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for review under common law writ or certiorari. Any appeals must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. We'll move now to our consideration of the minutes. Have you all had an opportunity to read the minutes of our February meeting?
All right.
Motion to approve.
Thank you so much. I'll accept a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All righty. It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. The minutes are approved. We'll move now to our Metro Council referrals. Are there any referrals from council members present? Director Odom.
Council member Sherry Weiner is in attendance today.
All righty. Yes.
Happens when you're short, you have to move it. How are y'all today? Great. Well, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. I will be very, very brief. We're on the agenda today for the Red Caboose Park renaming that we hope happens. And I just wanted to share that there are really three focuses here for us. One is confusion. There's some confusion, which I'll share. Consistency, and then a little thing called the Red Caboose. And those three things are all tied together. Nashville.gov, Nashville Life, and Music City Moms have it right. When you look on those websites and you type in Red Caboose Park, you get, because that's what everybody knows it as, you get Bellevue Park, you get Red Caboose Park in the right location. When you go to Google, or when you go to, there was the other, MapQuest, they send you to one of the two Bellevue parks. One is at the soccer field. The other one is at Red Caboose Park. And we've had birthday parties that have been scheduled that families have missed because they went to the wrong place. They love the river, but they really want to see the caboose. And so back in October, I thought, maybe it's time to take a look at this and see if we can get it fixed. So I put out a survey, and I just want to quickly share the survey results. There were 645 respondents. It was all done through social media. 100% of the respondents live in 37221. 100% of the respondents refer to it as Red Caboose Park. 73.5% of the respondents don't know where Bellevue Park is. And there's a sign on Highway 70 at the top of the hill that says Bellevue Park. 99.8% of the respondents do know where Red Caboose Park is. There's no sign. 99.2% of the respondents support renaming the park Red Caboose. And I know we've got a survey going out right now. I don't know, how that's shaping up, but I anticipate that it's going to be pretty similar. So just wanted to let you know, we all support. I've got some folks here that are here to share their thoughts about it as well, and I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. We'll move now to the public comment period. The public comment period is limited to 20 minutes total. Persons wishing to provide comment on matters that are germane to items on the agenda must sign up prior to the beginning of the meeting on the sign-up sheet provided at the meeting. The opportunity to provide public comment is offered on a first-come, first-served basis. Comments are limited to a maximum of 2 minutes per person. We will move now to our first person on the comment sign-up sheet is Bob Brackman. And if you could identify the item number.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Bob Brackman, a native Nashvilleian, a longtime lover of both Cheekwood and the Warner Parks. I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the proposed options for Cheekwood, as well as the Bellevue Highlands Mobility Study. I feel I have a unique perspective, as I was director of Cheekwood Botanical Garden for 13 years. During that tenure, I built the Color Garden, Water Garden, Woodland Sculpture Trail, the Dogwood Garden, Seasons Garden, among others. Also during my tenure, we bought property along Highway 100 to secure a new entrance for Cheekwood in the future. Subsequently, it was sold off after I left. We all want Cheekwood to succeed, but not at the expense of Warner Parks. There are many access points to the parks, and we don't need another. You can't whittle away or gnaw away at the edges of Nashville's crown jewel of parks without impacting the integrity of that treasure. Cheekwood has been presented with options over the years that did not impact Warner Parks and have chosen not to pursue those. Their inaction from the past should not be our reason now to give up this valuable and irreplaceable public land. Once parkland is lost for all of its users and future generations, it is lost forever. Clearly not what the original donation of the parkland was envisioned to be used for. Plus the environmental impact of such a road, disruption of the native and plant and animal habitats, introduction of invasive exotic plants via vehicular intrusion would be devastating. Surely we can find another solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Virginia Lazenby? Lazenby, thank you.
Thank you. My name is Virginia Lazenby. I live at 121 Page Road in Bellevue Highlands and am a member of the Cheekwood Board of Trustees. I am here to speak in favor of the Memorandum of Understanding being considered today between Cheekwood and Metro Parks. I have lived my life on Chickering Road, Bellmead Boulevard, and now Page Road. I have seen the development of the Harpeth Hills Golf Course. I have seen the transformation of the riding stables near the Percy Warner 9-hole golf course, and seen it become a very popular course and very busy lately. I support the park through the Friends of Warner Park and have given donations to the Iroquois Steeplechase to maintain that famous course. My mother was a friend of the Cheeks, and she became a member of Cheekwood when it first opened to the public. She was an avid gardener and worked diligently to help develop its gardens, especially the herb gardens. I followed in her footsteps and have seen Cheekwood grow to be the third most popular place to visit. I support Cheekwood through donations and many activities. As we all know, times change. Nashville is growing, and the Metro Planning Commission has worked very creatively to devise a plan that not only addresses the traffic and parking issues resulting from the growth of Cheekwood and the Percy Warner Golf Course, but actually enhances Percy Warner Park's ability to provide the public better access to its trails for walking and biking, and make it the focus of the proposed Highway 100 development area, which it should be. The Highway 100 shared entrance also makes Cheekwood a major focus of the proposed Highway 100 development area, which is designed to move traffic off neighborhood streets and accommodate positive growth in the area. The new entrance will take visitors to Cheekwood directly to the Bryant Fleming main gate and to on-site parking, which Cheekwood will be undertaking immediately. As a supporter of both Percy Warner Park and Cheekwood, I look forward to the speedy development of a detailed implementation plan for the recommendations of the Metro Planning Commission. It begins here with the approval of the MOU being considered today. This is a public-private collaboration of a project to support and improve two institutions that have the same mission, to give the public improved access to two Nashville treasures. I realize that parking and traffic have been an issue. I see it every day on Page Road, but this plan is a positive way to remedy issues. I am happy to live with the timeline to get the project completed. These two institutions are not just for those who live near it, but for the entire city, its inhabitants, and its visitors. As a neighbor, I invite all
Ms. Lazenby, we're
to
past our
come to the
time.
institution to enjoy them as I do.
Thank you. Lazenby, I apologize. Alberto Gonzalez.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Alberto Gonzalez. I'm the dean at the law school at Belmont and a member of Cheekwood's Board of Trustees. I'm here speaking only in my capacity as Cheekwood board member and as a very concerned citizen of Middle Tennessee. I became involved with Cheekwood because of its focus on art and beauty, quite frankly, and its intentional effort to reach out to the minority community. Community outreach and connection are at the heart of Cheekwood's mission. I'm honored to lead our outreach committee, where I've been fortunate to see a tremendous growth of public awareness in our diverse communities. We strive to introduce various cultures to our many communities in Middle Tennessee by investing $1.5 million annually. We host 4 vibrant cultural celebrations: Otsumikimi, Holi, Black Arts Bash, and El Dia de los Muertos. These events are important to the community, bringing people together to celebrate culture and tradition. We also welcome students through educational field trips. In 2023, Cheekwood welcomed 12,000 students from 153 different schools on field trips, ensuring that young people of all backgrounds experience the transformative power of art, nature, and education. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lucy Kamek? Kamek.
Good afternoon. My name is Lucy Kamak, and I became involved with Cheekwood in the 1980s as a volunteer and currently am a member of the Board of Trustees. Cheekwood is a cultural and botanical treasure in Nashville that offers our community a unique blend of art, history, and nature. As a longtime resident of Nashville, I've watched closely as Cheekwood has evolved over the last decade. Through intentional investments in outreach and community-based programming, Cheekwood has become a destination for all Nashvillians, a place to experience beauty and nature, education, community events, and cultural festivals. Cheekwood also draws visitors to Nashville, benefiting local businesses and reinforcing the city's reputation as a cultural hub. Any city would envy to have a unique cultural icon such as Cheekwood. I'm also a supporter of Friends of Warner Parks and have friends that live in the surrounding neighborhood. Like Cheekwood, Warner Parks is a valuable and enduring asset to our community, and I have enjoyed using the parks over the years with my family. With respect to the Bellmead Highlands Design and Mobility Study, I believe that there are solutions here that benefit everyone. Solutions that respect and improve Warner Park facilities for future generations, solutions that keep Cheekwood open and accessible to all, solutions that improve traffic and safety for residents. I'm asking that Friends of Warner Parks, together with Metro Parks, be supportive of these efforts and continue to work with Cheekwood towards solutions that are beneficial to all parties. If we work together, the citizens of Nashville benefit. That is what each of these institutions is meant to do, serve for the benefit of Nashville's citizens. There's a lot of work ahead. I know that Cheekwood is firmly committed to developing parking solutions on its property and to being a good partner and neighbor as this process continues. Cheekwood is acting quickly, but it will take time to achieve full results. Your support is appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary York?
Good afternoon. My name is Mary York, and I am the Academy Coach at James Lawson High School. Cheekwood has partnered with our Academy of Arts, Design, and Communications for many years, providing priceless experiences and opportunities to our students. In its capacity as a school partner, Cheekwood has offered students a glimpse into the world of art by offering field trips, job shadows, and internships to our students. They are an integral part of our school community and are always willing to offer unique experiences to our students. Whether they are hosting panel discussions where students hear directly from arts industry professionals, inviting classes for field trips to experience Cheekwood grounds, or allowing students to build and curate their own art exhibit at Cheekwood, Cheekwood consistently provides learning opportunities for our students. Cheekwood is a true school partner, and I know whatever I or the school needs, I can depend on them to come through for me. They are a true asset to our school and our community. As a true community partner, we and I am so appreciative of the unique experiences that they are able to provide our students and many others across the city. I hope you all will act to ensure that Cheekwood remains accessible to all of our students and to the community. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Ronald Roberts.
Good afternoon, board members. A lot of what I could say has already been said, so that's going to take a lot of my time away, so that's a good thing. I just wanted to come to just reiterate the fact that Cheekwood is prepared to do whatever it takes to work collaboratively with everyone to resolve these issues. Once the study was done and conducted, we immediately looked at what was required and started doing that immediately. We've already started proactively to meet some of the requirements that have been laid out. Just want to remind everyone, because we have so many different issues that we talk about, to go back to why Cheekwood is there. Cheekwood is a place of beauty and rest and peace. When you look at the gardens, when you look at the mansion, when you look at the art, when you look at different cultural celebrations, it's a place of beauty and rest and peace. And we just hope that that's not lost on anyone here. We have a lot of the same fundamental things as the park about conservation and beauty. We just ask that the MOU continue to be reinstated, because in order for us to do the parking, which we plan to do, we've got to have time to do that. So today we're just asking that as we continue to move forward, that we are allowed to move forward with parks and get this done. I want to thank Parks, Metro Parks, for the MOU that we've had to this point, and that we can continue to do that as we make sure we have parking on property. Thank you.
Thank you. Rebecca Shaw.
Good afternoon. I'm Rebecca Shaw. I've been part of Cheekwood's Indian Advisory Council since its inception in 2021. Each year I help organize Holi at Cheekwood, where visitors experience the vibrant sights and sounds and colors of Indian culture. Holi is especially important at Cheekwood because it brings people from diverse backgrounds together to celebrate, learn, and share in the richness of Indian traditions. My husband is Indian, and it is important for us to raise our children with Indian traditions that they can share with their community, and Cheekwood has allowed this to happen for our family. It is so special to see how people from other cultures and backgrounds gain exposure to and an appreciation for Indian culture through events like Holi. We're very excited about this year's event coming up in just a few weeks on March 22nd. Holi and the 3 other cultural festivals Cheekwood hosts each year are truly unique events in our city, and a testament to Cheekwood's commitment to community engagement and creating a real sense of connection and belonging. I hope that you will act to ensure Cheekwood remains a safe and accessible place for all to visit and enjoy, so that the significant community and cultural events like Holi can continue to come for years to come. Nashville needs Cheekwood. Please vote to ensure it can continue to exist for the people of Nashville. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Pat Stacy.
Hello, I'm Pat. I'm speaking on the Bellevue Highlands Design and Mobility Study. Many people believe that the MAR traffic study was conducted in a significantly flawed manner, and I highly recommend a new study be implemented that can provide accurate data so that you can make an informed decision. Within the study, it was determined that the vast majority of the visitors to those adjacent roads near Cheekwood were associated with Cheekwood, not the park. Therefore, this is not a shared need project as it is being framed. The park has several options to mitigate and solve any perceived traffic issues that exist as a result of the park-related traffic. Some are already being implemented. The Bellevue Highlands study suggests that was conducted. It suggested it was a thorough analysis of the traffic patterns, but as we dug into the study, we found several flaws in regards to their methodology and timing. One being the flawed design, the other being the way they collected the data. For example, the sample size is significantly insufficient. Only 2 weekdays were tested, and only 2 weekends were tested for traffic patterns. That is significantly lower than the standard industry standards. A handful of single days does not account for many variables that skew the data, such as weather, events, and things of that nature. We have a slide that will pop up. It shows us exactly where those data points were collected, which was fine. Where they did it was good. The geolocations were at the very entrance to the Cheekwood, and then the entrance to the driveway that leads to the park lot, which is great. But on that same day, one of the same days, you'll see we have a Cheekwood a parking attendant directing cars to the park lot down below, as well as the overflow grass area as well, which was inappropriate, obviously. So Cheekwood, is my time up?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Tim Orthel.
Well, we've lost our video. But yeah, as Pat was pointing out, thank you for your time today. We can see by looking at the photos that were taken by a local Bellmead Highlands resident that there was people being directed. It's in a slide deck that we're going to leave with you. And what you can see in the next slide is several people migrating from the lower lot to the upper lot. That said, the flawed data collection not only stops there, it goes on to, next slide, please. When we look at pre versus post golf course opening, again, a sample of 1 day was used when the Department of Transportation recommends 1 week being used. And you'll see inconsistencies there where utilization or golf course versus post golf course, the numbers don't line up. So there's a lot of inconsistencies in the data. And so our request is that the study be redone to reflect the 1 week on either side, which is the Department of Transportation standard, as well as consider other options. Some of those options were mentioned in lieu of redoing the study. That would be access from another point that doesn't interrupt the trails, or shuttles, limiting parking spots, things of that nature to mitigate the problem. We recognize that the mountain bike trail isn't always top of mind for folks, but if you go to our cities, our neighbors, they're leaning into resources like this. Knoxville, Chattanooga, people from all over the country in those parking lots. If you get on our chat rooms, people from across the country constantly say, where do we go? We're in to go to Broadway, but we want other things to do. This is where we send them. Where other cities are building up their mountain bike trails, we're trying to tear them down. And we'd like to work with the community to try to find another option. So, thank you.
Thank you. Josh Wiggins.
Good afternoon, Board. My name is Josh Wiggins. I'm here to speak about the Bellmead study as well. I wanted to drive awareness about this for our children and our youth, similar to what we've heard about Cheekwood, about all of the good work they've done with the schools. I'm a dad of a 6th and 7th grader. I wanted to bring to the fact that we used to come to Edward Warner when they were really young. As they got older, they wanted to follow the typical American sports that they would go into: basketball, soccer, American football. My kids aren't very good at those 3 things. I was a pretty poor coach of those things. So what this was great is when they realized that they could get out and ride their bike as kind of 8, 9-year-olds, then we found out about there's the middle and high school in America. It's a group called NICA. And I was able to find out that my kids could actually go and do this. My kids, one of them is very athletic, one of them is less so much, but it allowed me to get out with them. In these other sports, dads and moms can't get on the field in American football. You can't get on the field in baseball. So one of the beautiful things about biking with children is there is no bench. I don't bench a child for biking. We get to get out there as well and ride with them. So I wanted to bring this to the attention. This helps the children, just like we heard from Cheekwood, learning about art and culture. This builds character, confidence, and fitness. The trail that's been talked about changing over. If you watch children on their first time on a bike go up some of those trails, they struggle, but they can build confidence and character. And I think what I want to do is bring awareness to this. And it's not just about boys. There is a huge community of girls. There's a group called GRIT, Girls Riding Together. If you saw the amount of girls and females that are out there riding, I don't know how many people have children here and daughters, it's a big thing, and it's about inclusivity. Whether you're small, big, short, tall, clumsy, There is all of those when we go out biking. But the kids can go out there and they can feel that they're part of something. They're not segregated out. They're not filled to be in this special clique of certain sports. And I wanted to try and drive awareness to that. And it goes beyond coming off of the bike, because these trails don't automatically happen. They don't automatically stay well. So there's a lot of work that goes on with volunteering to help these kids learn about erosion, water flow. I've been out there on these trails with kids with big logs and harnesses, carrying rocks out of the creeks to bring them up to help make those trails better. So this is a great learning opportunity for the kids. So let's just keep it so they can keep learning. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move now to old business, 09-24-07. Parks Board to consider parking agreement between Metro Parks and Cheekwood Botanical Gardens and Museum of Art, 09-1805, Council District 34. Currently, we have Ms. Jane McLeod, President of Cheekwood, to speak at the end of our agenda, and we're going to move her up to this portion of the agenda to present Cheekwood's implementation of the Metro Planning Department's recommendations adopted by the Planning Commission as part of the Bellmead Highlands Design and Mobility Study to the board. Ms. McLeod, you have 7 minutes.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm Jane McLeod, and I've had the honor of serving as the president and CEO of Cheekwood since 2010, the same year that many Nashvillians first encountered the wonder of Chihuly, and in so doing discovered Cheekwood. Beloved from the time it opened to the public in 1960, Cheekwood had historically only served a small segment of the community. But that changed following Chihuly, when the Cheekwood board and leadership recognized the institution's potential and set about with hope and enthusiasm to broaden and deepen its reach in the community. Cheekwood at the time developed a new strategic plan centered on a commitment to outreach and to serving all Nashvillians with a broad range of experiences in which to enjoy the beauty, the magnificence, the peace, the joy, and the love of Cheekwood. The programs that Nashvillians have come to love, Cheekwood in Bloom with its 250,000 spring blooming bulbs, Harvest at Cheekwood with its iconic pumpkin houses, Holiday Lights with its 1 million lights, and our 4 multicultural festivals, including El Dia de los Muertos and many others, have allowed us to make good on that goal. These programs have become beloved family traditions, and they are also vital to ensuring the financial stability and operation of Cheekwood. Cheekwood is a 501c3 nonprofit institution that was created to serve the public. Cheekwood relies on these programs for its operations, and today 65% of our revenue is gate-related. Every dollar earned or contributed is dedicated solely for the operation, the maintenance, the preservation of our 55-acre botanical garden, art museum, and historic estate. Our service to the community has relied on the use of adjacent Metro Parks property, following recurring memorandums of understanding with Metro Parks that began in 1981 and were extended in 2015 to include the West Lot. Inclusion of the West Lot allowed Cheekwood to remain solvent, maintain its grounds, and offer programming to a more diverse community. On behalf of the staff, the board, and the visitors who enjoy Cheekwood, I want to say thank you. We are profoundly grateful to Metro Parks for the use of this land through reoccurring MOUs over the years, allowing Cheekwood to serve as a beacon for those seeking solace, joy, and the beauty of nature, and now a place where everyone is welcome. We understand that this partnership needs to end. Cheekwood needs to move parking onto Cheekwood's property, and we are fully committed to doing so, specifically as it is outlined in the MOU. Cheekwood is supportive of the MOU recommended by the Metro Planning Commission to the Parks Board and the recommendations of their study, including building safe, accessible parking on Cheekwood's property, implementing traffic demand management practices, which we have already initiated, and supporting the efforts of NDOT to study a shared use Highway 100 access drive. We appreciate the intense work of Metro Planning and all the stakeholders that were involved. We have already hit the ground running, and we're pleased to share the binders that are before you today, documenting our compliance with everything that was required for the March prerequisites. What we are asking for is a limited and finite amount of time in the form of a new memorandum of understanding for parking on adjacent parkland, while we raise the funds and build an on-site parking facility that will better serve Nashville per Metro Planning's recommendations. Approval of the MOU before you that includes the East Lot and other designated areas nearby is paramount for our continued operation, and we will be forever grateful for the extension of time to use these areas. We understand that under threat of a lawsuit from a Lukely descendant against the city, that the city had no viable option but to remove the West Lot from the MOU. We will immediately begin studying temporary on-site and other options to replace the important parking that the West Lot provided. And again, we will be immensely thankful for the continuing use of the East Lot and other areas designated in the MOU. We remained absolutely committed to meeting all the study's recommendations and the MOU, and we remain committed to the citizens of Nashville to ensuring that Cheekwood remains a place where everyone is welcome. Our destiny should be our responsibility in full, and we intend to take that responsibility in full. The time allotted in the MOU for continuation of parking and the programs it allows will enable us to continue operations and our outreach while we do our part to eliminate Cheekwood's reliance on parks. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board regarding the presentation? All righty, thank you so much. I would also like to open discussion now on the MOU, Parks Board to consider parking agreement between Metro Parks and Cheekwood Botanical Gardens and Museum of Art, 0918-05, Council District 34.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much. Is there a second?
Second.
There is a second. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Scott Barnes.
Yes. I do have some concerns about the details of the MOU, and I understand that I could make edits or requests for edits over the next 30 days until our next meeting and bring those, or beyond. If I could maybe get you to comment about the ability to make changes to the MOU from the board's perspective, so that if there were the desire to make changes, that could happen.
Sure. If the board desires to amend this agreement in the future, it can consider amendments at a future date.
Okay. Because, yeah, there were some, I guess maybe just taking a step back, I think for me, the spirit of entering an agreement like this is to really have everyone succeed. And so I think some of the concerns that I have were places where I would worry that we would get into a situation, if there was a construction delay or if there was some other timing issue, that there might be a delay, and I would hate for us to want to, I would hate for us to be put in the position of having to, I guess I just want it to be enforceable and to be executable. So those were some of the areas that I would be interested in making recommendations in our next meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, for recognizing me. I just wanted to state this. I think it was really two things that I think I recognized as needed when I joined the Parks Board, particular to this MOU, and one of those was clarity, just being able to really understand exactly what the MOU entailed, and the other one was a plan, as the MOU had been extended many times without necessarily a plan of what the future would hold, and honestly what the extension was working towards. And I feel like those two things were addressed in what we're seeing, and there's clarity. It's both written, and then there's also some visual clarity with an exhibit that I think everybody has now had a chance to digest. And then also a plan, and that plan has objectives and deliverables in it. We've got, an example of that first one here before us, but also has a timeline. And a timeline with a clear goal of working towards a termination of that MOU so that it's no longer needed. I think with those things in mind, that's why I'm inclined to support. I completely and respectfully understand the comments of my fellow board members that we do want to make sure it's executable, right? We want to make sure that we as a body understand that we asked for and requested time for collaboration. We asked for that not only of Cheekwood, but we asked for that of the community. Particular bodies of the community didn't necessarily, I would say, respect that request thoroughly, and there's been some contentious things that have come out of it. But I do think we've taken a significant step forward from where we were to where we are now with the MOU that's before us, and I'm inclined to support it.
Any other comments from the board? Commissioner Mays.
Thank you, Chair. So I want to be sure, I've received several inquiries about today's vote, and I think it's extremely important that we share that this vote is not related to programming at Cheekwood at all. And so I think it might be a good idea to explain to the listening public what is before us. To Commissioner Henley's comments, clarity is everything. I think it's important that folks understand that we are not here to make a decision on programming at all for Cheekwood. This is related to this particular MOU. So if you could share specifically what we're voting on, I think that would be very helpful. Thank you.
So today, Legal, do you want to chime in or do you want?
Sure, I can chime in and you can chime in and
Okay.
Chris can chime in if he needs to. But what's before you is really a transition plan to get Cheekwood patrons parking on Cheekwood property. So there's a phased approach, and that's included in the MOU where certain milestones have to be met by certain times. But that's what we're voting on. We're not voting on a proposed road or anything like that. Today is just a parking plan to transition them off of Parks property.
Thank you so much.
That's good. Any other questions? Any other discussion? We have the motion and a second. All in favor? Signify by aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. The motion passes. I want to thank everyone that has taken the time to share your thoughts, your comments, your concerns. We have received those. We have listened. And while the outcome of this decision may not be what everyone has hoped for, please know that it was made with thorough consideration of all the perspectives, as well as the best interests of our parks, our community, and the future of our city. This Parks Board is the governing body for parks land only. And so our commitment remains to ensuring that our parks serve as welcoming, accessible, and thriving spaces for all, and we appreciate your continued engagement. We're going to move now to 01-25-05, the Arts Bellevue Community Foundation, Bellevue Harpeth Chamber of Commerce, Bellevue Harpeth Historic Association, and the Exchange Club of Bellevue request approval to rename Bellevue Park to Red Caboose Park with community input, Council District 22. I will accept a motion.
So moved.
Oh, please excuse me. Thank you, I missed my note. We're going to open now the opportunity for community input on the renaming of Bellevue Park to Red Caboose Park. If you could come to the podium, if you could state your name.
I am Claire Baker.
Thank you.
I am co-president of the Bellevue Harpeth Historic Association, and we're in charge of the cabin that's there in the park. And we, our association, are truly in favor of the name change and hope you truly consider it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Hattie DeWalt. I'm the Executive Director of the Bellevue Harpeth Chamber of Commerce. And we are, for some reason, the default organization for all things Red Caboose Park. People don't know who to call, and they don't know who's in charge of renting, if renting is available. Regardless of that, I'm happy to send them to the Parks Department, but I would like for the Parks Department to recognize us as Red Caboose Park, as opposed to Bellevue Park. By virtue of the fact that the caboose is sitting there proudly, and that's what the children relate to, we would definitely like to have that happen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Pat Lawson. I'm a resident of Davidson County and live in West Nashville, and I've had the pleasure of growing up in the Bellevue area. I work for the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and we represent the Bellevue Community Foundation. And in doing so, we are overwhelmingly in support of renaming the park, the Red Caboose Park, because that is what it's known by, and that is where our families go to gather. So we appreciate your consideration of this recommendation. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Are there any other persons speaking regarding the renaming of Red Caboose Park? All righty. All righty, thank you so much. Thank you for all those who are interested. We'll now close the public comment period. I'm sorry, the community input period. We'll move now to consent agenda. Director Odom, are there any comments or?
No comments and no changes, no.
Okay, I'll accept a motion to accept the consent agenda in its entirety.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you so much. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. We'll move now to new business 03-25-02, nomination of park board officers as per section of Park 1000.4, the Metro Parks Policy Manual, election to be held in April. We'll now open the noms for chairperson.
I make a motion to nominate Michelle Steele for chairperson and Cruz Johnston for vice chairman and Monique Odom as secretary.
So you just took them all.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Are there any other nominations for chair, vice, or secretary?
Second.
Thank you so much. And so we will vote in April. Thank you. 03-25-03, the LDA Engineering, on behalf of the NDOT Sidewalk and Bikeway Program Team, requests approval to remove 6 trees and conduct grading operations and retaining wall construction partially within the limits of the Centennial Park along both sides of 31st Avenue North from Parthenon Avenue to Park Plaza for the purpose of constructing Phase 3 of the 31st Avenue North Pedestrian Improvement Project. Disturbed areas within the park will be restored to original condition or better. District 21. I will accept a motion. Oh, I'm deferring it. My notes are all off. We're going to defer this today to our acquisition. Thank you. I apologize. 03-25-04, the Locktees family. State Representative Caleb Himmer and the community requests approval to fundraise for and ultimate acceptance of a memorial tree and bench, including installation valued at up to $6,000 at Mill Creek Greenway in honor of Alyssa Locktis. Am I saying the name correctly? Thank you. No money will be sent to Metro Parks. The installation is to be coordinated with Metro Parks maintenance staff. I will accept a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you so much. Is there any discussion?
No, ma'am. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, thank you so much. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. The motion passes. We'll move to special presentations. Mr. Matthew Carver was scheduled to speak to our board. He's a SORBA president to address the board in response to the Bellmead Highlands Design and Mobility Study. Mr. Carver has asked to reschedule. And so we will move now to Finance and Administration Division to present an annual update to the board. Ms. White? Thank you so much. You have 7 minutes.
Good afternoon. I am Shanita White, Assistant Director of Finance and Administration. Excuse me. So our division structure is as follows: finance and accounting, human resources and payroll, safety, information and technology, and storeroom/warehouse. The finance and accounting team provides day-to-day management and oversight of the department's finances. This includes accounts payable, accounts receivable, grants, operating and capital budget management, and compliance to establish Metro finance policies and procedures. The human resources team provides HR personnel, and payroll support for the entire Metro Parks Department. Our safety team works to identify and mitigate workplace hazards, implement safety policies, conducts regular safety inspections, investigates accidents, enforces safety regulations, provides safety training, and responds to emergencies to promote an overall culture of safety within the department. Our IT division provides desktop support, workstation hardware, desktop operating systems, and resolutions of IT issues. They also provide an assessment of customer desktop needs and cost estimates and maintains computer inventories. Other duties include working with the department's security needs, assessments, and operations. Our storeroom maintains on-hand inventory of various maintenance, custodial, golf, and office supplies. As you can see on this slide, it indicates our current staffing status. Currently, we have budgeted 1,390 positions, of which 963 are filled. The next slide shows our revenue sources for our FY25 revenue budget, which is $15,821,600. Our biggest contributor is golf, following with the Sportsplex, and then the Parthenon. Our FY25 operating expense budget breakdown includes our total FY25 operating budget is $66,103,600, with our budget expense categories being salaries, benefits, and all other. As you can see from this slide, we only have roughly $15 million to operate the department after salaries and benefits for our employees. So some of our safety highlights for this year. Our safety team provided quality first aid, CPR, AED instructor certified training to save costs and provide Red Cross certification. The safety team trained and certified 49 individuals. They also held fire extinguisher training and trained 163. They installed Centos medical cabinets at all park facilities. This improvement reduced the workload of park staff to maintain and inspect first aid cabinets and eliminate chances for TOSHA citations due to expired and missing items, which was initiated by yours truly. They've established a fitness partnership. They coordinated with community center and Sportsplex staff to provide beginning of the day stretching routines in a movement to reduce IOD accidents. And that's them at the beginning of the day stretching with our maintenance staff. They participated with Celebrate Nashville. This is the first time park safety was consulted for this event, with 120,000 attendance for both in-person and virtual. Park safety provided additional emergency support, safety, I should have used another color, safety, and weather forecast support. They also coordinated the replacement of an 87,000-gallon water tank liner and heater probes at Paradise Ridge, restoring the facility's auxiliary water supply for the fire sprinkler system to a fully operational status. They've reestablished TOSHA-required trainings for blood-borne pathogens, HAZCOM, and a respiratory program, which is primary in our pools area for the mass test fits with public health. They provided OSHA 30 training for supervisors. They provided multiple safety-related trainings such as IRD, hot weather, uneven working spaces, and working around down electrical lines. They coordinated the STARS Nashville training for regional overdose awareness prevention, worked with Metro Fire Department to plan prescribed burns at 2 park locations, and the oversight on coordinating repairs and renovating 17 fire sprinkler systems and 3 fire sprinkler systems and water tanks. So that's our overview. Do you have any questions?
Thank you so much. Any questions? All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We're going to move to Friends of Fort Nashboro to present an annual update to the board. Thank you, and you have 7 minutes.
Good day, all. All right, is there anyone in this room that thinks Fort Nashboro is completed? And I say this because there are people that don't realize that. Okay. Today I'm sitting here with 2 of my board members. Y'all may know Lynn Maddox and Lisa Williams. And yes, we are DAR. Okay, so it's important to us to see the fort achieve its purpose. And just sitting there as a building, you know, doesn't do it. So I've written a little thing here. We've been organized for 5 years to support Fort Nashboro Interpretive Center. It's really, and it's supposed to be an interpretive center. I remember the day in 2017 when DAR members joined our city's leadership for the ribbon cutting with great excitement. We worked with the Metro Historical Commission to create the 501c3 Friends Group as a way to support the site, Metro Parks, and the MHC. Our mission statement was the same then as it is now, to protect, preserve, and promote the fort, and provide a way to learn about the early history of our fair city. Nashville's had a replica of the fort dating back to 1930. Schools in the past bused their students to the previous 2 forts for the purpose of learning about our history. And this version of the fort was to be an interpretive center so that docents would no longer be needed. Unfortunately, nothing has been done to complete the interpretive center. I was under the assumption that Metro would finish phase 2 soon. That's the interpretive part. That's the interior. Jim tells me he will ask for this project to be completed via an RFP. There is interest in the community to do so, and I hope it will happen now. The fort has a large schoolroom. All those little locked rooms in the fort are like classrooms, can be used for that purpose. The large schoolroom needs to be furnished, equipment set up and maintained, and we've even got a leaking roof, so that needs to be fixed too. There are presently tour groups stopping by the fort and some wanting it to be a standalone tour by next year. When you visit a world-renowned city, Nashville, right, you always want to see how it began as well as what's made it the hot, trendy town it is now. That's why we have the district to protect our lovely old buildings in the downtown. And we've got the downtown partnership helping us now. Gosh, I went by there right before I came here and they were all over the place on their little seg things. You know, it was great. I was so glad. Our Friends group did provide new signage. Has anyone been over to see it? Y'all need to go. It's really pretty. And the fort sorely needed that. People now read those signs. They really, and they can. They're readable. We thank y'all very much for your help. Oh, are there any questions?
Any questions? All righty, thank you so much. We'll move now to capital projects update. That is a written report from Joe Stovall. We also have a written report on Greenways open space update with Cindy Harrison. We also have an upcoming special activities and events written report from Jackie Jones. All righty, we're going to move now to report of the director. Director Odom.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Parks Board. Want to update you on a few things that we've been active on in the department over the past month. There's the kickoff and open house for the Restore program at Napier Community Center was held February 22nd from 11 to 3. That Restore program, it's reaching economic sustainability through opportunities, resources, and empowerment, is our restorative justice pilot program at Napier Community Center. If you will recall, this fiscal year, we were a part of, got some funding for pilot programming, again, restorative justice programming at Napier, about $250,000. The entire funding amount for the city was $1 million, and that the remainder of that $750,000 is goes to standing up the Mayor's Office of Youth Safety. So we are again engaging that Mayor's Office of Youth Safety as a partner to this pilot programming. Hopefully, the funding will be recurring in the upcoming budget year. The Metro Nashville Police Department Support Services Bureau held its recent staff meeting at the Parks Police Office, and I was glad to be invited to participate with Captain Davis here, as you know, who leads our Parks Police Division. The Support Services Bureau is comprised of Parks Police, Traffic, Evidence and Storage, Special Operations, Custom Services, and Facilities Management, and is led by Deputy Chief Tommy Widener, and you all met him at a previous advocacy meeting. Very grateful for that partnership with MMPD. We participated in the Southeast Community Meeting on last week, February 26th. It was an opportunity to engage constituents, particularly those in the Antioch or Southeast area of Nashville, and answer questions about the Parks Department and kind of anything that they wanted to ask. Happy to report that Tim Nage has rejoined our department as part of the Senior Staff and Planning Division. He's taken the lead on the Plan to Play update. We are engaging now with finance on our FY26 budget request. You have a printout in your package of a summary of our ask. I shared some information with you previous to that. Those requests, again, are informed by our division heads and program managers about what we need here in the department. We'll have continue to engage with the finance department, and then, as you know, we will ultimately engage Metro Council and answer their questions about our requests. So I just ask that you be supportive. If you have questions, please, you know how to reach me. Please send those questions to me. And then finally, I would like to acknowledge the passing of Stan Fossick, who served here on the Parks Board from 1990 to 2020. He's the longest serving Parks Board member of 30 years. He recently passed. He was also the foreman of the grand jury. Thank you. I learned of his passing earlier this week, but I think he may have passed last week. So I just wanted to make you all aware of that. That's all I have for today. If you have any questions.
Any questions? Commissioner Henley?
Yes, sir. Well, first, I want to obviously thank staff. I know we got a lot of written reports, but also just compliment the finance department. They do a lot with just 16 people, and I know that the community appreciates it because they get to experience our park. So I always want to thank that. And the only question that I had is, I know that the meeting per your email last week with the council hearing, it hasn't been scheduled yet. Has that been scheduled yet? Okay.
It has not been scheduled. Our council budget, I don't think the schedule is out for departments yet. As soon as I get that, I will share that with you all. And of course, hope that you all will be able to attend and support.
Absolutely. All righty, we're going to move now to announcements, requests for future agenda items or open items. Commissioner Scott Barnes.
I wanted to ask a future agenda item in response to the Belmead Highland study and the planning department's recommendation that Parks do its own analysis and its own study for its long-term use as it relates to their recommendations. So I guess I was hoping that in the next meeting, there could be, maybe it's the plan, like an internal study that could include a scope of work and a timeline for what information might be helpful for us as we continue that process.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other items? All righty. Thank you so much. We'll get that added. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Y'all sure? Thank you. Thank you so much. You all have a good day. The meeting is adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.